I saw Rhinestone.
I've not even heard of that one.
This movie's amazing. This is a fantastic movie. It's part musical, part drama, part cowboy film, starring Sylvester Stallone and Dolly Parton.
Have anybody been watching Making a Murder?
I heard that was excellent.
I'm going to probably watch that later tonight.
Haley and I have been watching a little bit of that. Haley, what do you think so far?
I'm confused on who's telling the truth and who's not.
Oh.
And I'm trying really hard to not get things spoiled for me on the internet because people suck at life. So.
My mom told me I know that family.
Really?
I have not seen the show, but she called last night and actually talked to my wife because I don't talk to my mom anymore. Not.
Wow.
I love my mother, but I work all the time, and so any conversations go back and forth, any correspondence all goes through my wife. So anyway, I was talking to my wife, and apparently my mom said that we know that family. The woman who was murdered is the wife of a guy who owns a candy store that I used to go to in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, which is where my stepdad is from.
Huh.
And so apparently I know this family.
Interesting.
I didn't know that until my mom told me.
And what have you watched, WTH Army? Let us know. Comments below or whathatthappenedpodcast.com. Drop us a line because we'd love to hear from you.
That's right.
I highly recommend Rhinestone.
Alright, it's time for Well That Happens movie review. This week's movie is Pay the Ghost, starring Nicolas Cage, Sarah Wayne Callies, and Veronica Ferris. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Based on a novella by Tim LeBon, screenplay by Dan Kay, and directed by Uli Adol. Now, the Netflix tagline for this Nicolas Cage tour de force is, after their young son disappears, a professor and his wife come apart, but haunting visions of their boy inspire them to search for him again. That was a Netflix tagline. So, Shannon, as a guest, we like to play Netflix it. That means come up with a tagline that best fits the movie in your own words. And so, I ask you for Pay the Ghost. Shannon, what is your Netflix tagline?
A once movie star
Nice.
is slowly fading away rather than burning out, loses his son to a spirit of another world. Hence, the wife gets upset, angry, kicks old man out of the house, and so he is forced to get his life back in order. Done.
Oh, well done.
Well done.
Done.
Solid right there.
Done.
All right, Todd, what is your Netflix tagline?
I have to go? Okay.
Yep.
Dr. Nicolas Cage's son has gone missing on Halloween. 1 year later, he realizes most of the children missing on Halloween are never found again. Dr. Nicolas Cage is going to get to the bottom of the missing children of Halloween in Pay the Ghost.
Nice.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, whatever.
I couldn't remember his name. Dr. Nicolas Cage works for me, though.
Actually, you know what? I don't remember his character's name. But anyways.
Watch, that's going to turn out to be a quiz question.
Never know. All right, so Sam, what is your Netflix tagline for Pay the Ghost?
White Cuba Gooding Jr. takes another paycheck in this lackluster horror thriller starring the one character that we hated on The Walking Dead and needed to die, and finally when she did, we rejoiced. Yet to see her appear on yet another screen, I was hoping that a zombie would have bitten her. Damn it, it didn't happen. Or she didn't die in labor.
Wow. This is your Netflix.
Wow, okay.
Sam loves the movie.
Sounds like a review of Walking Dead. That's cool.
I really
Sounds like a review of Warrior.
I really don't like that actress.
I was trying to figure out who she was.
It's not her fault.
No, it is her fault because every character she's ever played on television has been pretty bad. There was that one season in Prison Break where she was good, and then after that I was like, they're still paying her. Great.
There we go. All right, Haley, what is your Netflix tagline for Pay the Ghost?
Join Nicolas Cage in the ultimate face-off between a greedy ghost. It is Heavy Rain.
Nice. Well done.
Awesome.
Well done. All right, my Netflix tagline is Charlie wants a swirl cone, and then he's gone.
Great. There's more?
Oh, yeah, there is more. I just really want to put
I wish that was your tagline. I vote for that.
You know what? That's good
Charlie
enough.
lost the swirl cone and he's gone.
It's good enough.
Suck it.
Go Vengeful Gost. That's it. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. That's great.
I feel like that would be like a country song. Charlie won.
Charlie wants a swirl cone.
How would you Netflix it? Comments down below. We're still learning how all this works. Also, wellthathappenedpodcast.com. Check us out. Drop a line. Contact us. Send us boobs. We don't care.
Yep.
Love them.
And with that, let's move on.
It's okay, this mom.
Alright, so Pay the Ghost is kind of about a vengeful ghost who now kidnaps children for revenge upon the kids that were taken from her. So I ask you guys...
Which is the end of the movie, by the way.
Spoiler! You know that because you've heard the opening. Anyway, what is your favorite vengeful ghost movie? You know, it can be a spirit, entity, ghost, whatever you wish, but they have to be vengeful. And they have to be back from somewhere to get back at something. So, Haley, what is your favorite vengeful ghost movie? Go.
My favorite vengeful ghost movie would be 2004's Shudder. This is the Japanese version where a man hits a woman with a car, kills her, and then he's a photographer as well, and in all the pictures that he takes, this dark shadow starts appearing, and she keeps torturing him and his girlfriend. And the end
Japanese
is great.
version of what?
Shudder.
Oh, that was the same title.
It came out. It came out in 2008 in the U.S., but the Japanese version is 10 times scarier, and we all know my hatred for the Japanese horror films.
Japanese horror films tend to be scarier for a while.
Because it's about beliefs more than it is somebody chasing you down.
Which is why that Suicide Forest one looks really creepy.
It does look cool.
But it's an American one.
It's an American done film, and I'd
No,
probably...
Yeah, but I like that chick.
Yeah, but just because you like the chick doesn't mean that...
That's why I go to films.
Oh, okay.
He wants to see boobs.
He's the one who keeps perpetuating Jessica Alba's movie career.
I don't know who that is, but yes.
All right, Sam, what is your favorite vengeful ghost film?
My favorite vengeful ghost film, I'm going to have to go along the same lines as Haley because it was during that 2000s where there was a lot of Japanese remakes of... This is the Japanese version, the original, Ju-on, Grudge. The movie is absolutely one of the most terrifying films that I've ever watched as a movie viewer. It's about a woman who's murdered in her house, but it's the feeling that she leaves behind that starts to consume everybody who enters the house. And these high schoolers go in, and the emotion of this woman has now formed itself into a spirit in the same vein of what the woman looked like when she was alive, and she attaches herself to the people. And as they spread out, her hatred, her anger, her disgust of what her death was starts to consume them and then consume their loved ones. They actually did 3 films of this, and but the first one is just so, it's terrifying. I had weeks where I did not sleep because I was having nightmares of a woman in white standing over me, trying to take my soul into the demon dimension, even though I don't believe in any of that kind of stuff. But, I mean, the filmmakers were so solid.
That film gave me panic attacks for 2 years. I'd wake up and I couldn't breathe, and I would get to the point where I felt like I was going to vomit. It was so bad. That film gave me terrible panic attacks for 2 years. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
So I'm not going to watch that movie with my 7-year-old.
No.
Well, you can watch a movie with your 7-year-old, but what would be your favorite vengeful ghost movie that you'd show him? Maybe.
My favorite, and this was actually a pretty easy question for me.
Okay.
When I saw the text come over and you said, what's your favorite vengeful ghost film, I thought about it for a second, and I said, well, duh, I got this out of the bag. It's clearly Beetlejuice.
Nice.
Because Beetlejuice is just a fantastic film. It is top to bottom. It's brilliant. It's all about this poor guy, Beetlejuice, who has been locked away in the spirit dimension. He's being punished by the other side, and the only way to get free is to apparently bang Winona Ryder. And who doesn't want to do that?
Johnny Depp did.
Yeah, there we go. Wino forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I absolutely love Beetlejuice.
Fantastic choice.
It is back when Tim Burton was still good. It was the brilliance of Michael Keaton's acting and the way he played his character and the complete commitment to the role. And great from a young Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis and Winona Ryder. Just a fantastic film.
One of my favorite moments in that movie is when is her character named Lydia?
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
When Lydia goes to Saks Fifth Avenue and she just starts shoplifting 5,000 worth, just
Nice.
everything.
Oh, well done.
Wow.
Oh, what a classic scene.
All right.
Oh, well done.
done. Well done. All right, Shannon, what is your favorite vengeful ghost movie?
I actually, and when I read this request, I actually don't have one because ghost movies tend to bore me.
Okay.
But,
I see that. I can see that.
Beetlejuice, my friend,
Yeah.
I would have not thought of that because it is essentially a comedy. Is an excellent choice because from beginning to end, I think the movie is absolutely fantastic and entertaining. And Mr. Keaton does a fantastic job playing Beetlejuice, which I think is one of the most underrated actors that we have.
He's great.
He is great in a lot that he does, but Beetlejuice is one of the roles that he really killed it in. So I'm gonna have to go with Beetlejuice.
Alrighty, so I was thinking of this one movie back when I was a kid. Scared the poop out of me. Not literally, but
Mary
scared me.
Poppins.
No, that was
hate that.
creepy, but no, it was called Lady in White. Have you ever heard of this one? It's
No.
older movie, 80s. It's one of those vengeful ghost movies. But then I thought about it for a little while, and I was like, no one's probably going to know this movie at all besides me. So I decided to go along the same lines, Tim Burton, Sleepy Hollow.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Interesting choice.
It's not as good as Beetlejuice, I don't think, but visually, I think it hits home.
And that's what I was going to bring up right now before you mentioned it. The visuals
Yeah.
in Sleepy Hollow are beautiful. It's a gorgeous looking film. Christina Ricci, Johnny Depp, Christopher Walken. They did such a phenomenal job with such a basic kind of average script, but I think visually it popped.
Yeah, visually it was fantastic.
It popped like a
the
pussy.
storyline. Well, we better call this quits before Todd makes it rain.
Let's move on.
All right, it's question time with Todd, Sam, Haley, and Shannon. The way this works, Shannon, is if you know the answer, yell out your name. If you are the first one to say your name, you get the first chance to answer it. Here we go. Question number 1. What is the name of the woman who was burned at the stake?
Todd. Mary.
No.
Sam, Tabitha,
No.
Haley, Amanda.
No. Shannon?
Eloise Maria.
All right, so you all failed the first question. It's Annie Sockwin.
Annie
I knew it
Socklin.
started with an
Oh
A.
man, they were really socking it to her.
And that's where they really missed out. They should have called her Mary because then if they were blaming her for the plague, they could have been tied it in with the whole Typhoid Mary
I
nonsense.
think that came a lot later, though.
It did. Typhoid Mary happened in the late 1800s, but it doesn't matter. People don't really know that.
And nobody should take anything that you just said seriously because you're not good with numbers.
It's true.
Makes them up all the time.
But I'm good with dates.
But I'm good with numbers. So, question number 2. What activity did Charlie want to do with his dad before
Haley.
trick-or-treating?
Carve a pumpkin.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That's it.
Hey, you got to say your name first, sir.
I forgot.
We take this
Hey, I'm
seriously.
new.
He doesn't know his name.
Question number 3. What was Mike's costume for Halloween?
Todd.
Ooh, that was Todd.
Pirate.
No.
Sam.
No, Shannon was
Oh,
next.
Shannon was next.
Who's Mike? Oh, Charlie was the kid.
Shannon.
What are you pushing me for?
It's your fault.
What's your answer for?
Cowboy partner.
Correct.
Forgot what Mike was.
All right, here we go. Question number 4. What did Mike receive before going home
Sham.
on Halloween?
Sham.
Sam.
Yeah.
What?
He got tenure.
Correct.
Todd. Specifically, he got a letter.
Saying he got tenure. Yes. So,
Well, let me tell you what I just got. Good news. I got tenure.
all right. Question number 5. In the building that had the graffiti, Pay the Ghost, what did Mike hear?
Haley.
Shannon.
Haley.
A woman crying?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, nice. No, well done.
I was
Well
trying
done.
to remember if there was something before that.
All right. Question number 6. The symbol of the waxing and waning moon, what type of women did the symbol stand
Sam.
for?
Celtic.
No.
Todd.
Women, type of women.
Type of woman. Loose.
Todd.
It was Virgin something crone. Virgin Maiden crone?
That's correct. Maiden crone.
Maiden
It was
crone.
a symbol for the goddess, but it also was the waxing. The waxing moon was for the maiden. The waning was for the crone.
Yeah, Maiden crone.
The one pointing away was bad.
Yes.
Not bad. Women, crones are not bad.
No, in the movie, she says the one pointing away is bad.
Yeah.
I will say this, though.
Yeah, but she was a school teacher from Schenectady.
She didn't know much.
Yeah, I like women, so loose.
Crone.
If
maiden,
if a woman who likes sex is a woman that I can get behind.
Okay. Question number 7. What did the medical examiner discover
Sam.
about the dead psychic?
Burned inside.
Yes.
That was really cool, too.
That was a
That
really
was
cool
cool.
moment.
I really wish the medical examiner had been smoking at the time. Like, you know those old movies where, like, the guy's doing the autopsy and he has a cigarette as he's cutting up? And, like, I felt like that would have been really cool.
That's funny because that you mentioning that reminds me of Samuel L. Jackson when he's smoking as a computer tech in Jurassic Park. He's like, everything's wrong with this park right now. I'm just trying to...
Hold on to your butts.
All right. Question number 8. What was the Celtic holiday they were celebrating?
Sam.
Yes.
New Amsterdamish.
No.
Todd. All Hallows Eve.
No.
Sam Hain. Santa.
San Andreas.
Sacagawea.
No.
It starts with an S.
It does start with an S.
So,
Second
Shannon?
I have no
Haley?
clue, and I don't want to sound
Sam
like
Randero's birthday.
No. All right.
Next month, baby.
It's Samhain.
Samhain.
I was close.
Not a real thing.
Devon Sawa?
That's not a real thing?
It's spelled Samhain, but it's Samhain.
Sam Hain.
Yeah, Samhain.
Salmon.
Samhain. It's pronounced Samhain. Anyway, all right.
So I said I was right.
You were close.
You're close.
I did the spelling of it.
Give him you should give him like a
I said
point.
Sam
A
Hain.
half a point.
Half a point.
Half a point.
All right, there we go. All right.
Like the metal band from the 80s. 90s.
You want to
Half a
win?
point?
Sam Hain.
You gotta have a point. All right. So, question number 9. What did the children at the Celtic festival throw into the fire?
Haley.
Yes.
Dolls.
Correct.
Specifically, what kind of dolls?
They were like corn husk
Dolls
dolls.
for burning.
They were so they wouldn't be taken by the witch.
I was going to say pesos, but I was really confused.
Pesos.
All right. Question number 10. Last one. Name at least one of the other children taken with Charlie.
Sam.
Haley.
Oh, Sam got that one.
Maya Wu. Maya.
I'm going to give that to you. It's Mia Wen, but you just got his name. First name is fine.
Was the other one named Pedro?
Pablo.
Pablo.
Gonzalez.
Pablo. All
Pablo
right.
Gonzalez
Emilio.
Escobar.
That is 10 questions, and we have a tie between Sam and Haley. So we have a tiebreaker for those two only.
All right, let's do this.
Tiebreaker question, or number 11. What animals occupy the evil ghost?
Sam.
Accompany the evil ghost. Sam.
What?
Vultures.
Correct.
Oh,
Which
Company.
pissed me off.
those
Sam
were
is
really
the
badly done.
They were badly done.
They were awful.
I
looking.
hate
No, there was a lot about this movie that made me angry.
Yeah, I mean, it literally looked like they took a 9-inch dildo and just glued it onto some feathers in a computer.
Weirdly, that's exactly what vultures look like.
Not wrong. You're not wrong. Well, let's find out about recommendations in just one moment. So let's move on. Alrighty, so this has been Pay the Ghost. We've all had a chance to watch it. Charlie, Charlie. That's the name of the kid. That's the name of the kid in the movie.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey,
how you
Jordan,
doing?
do you want a twisty cone?
I'm doing well, guys.
You want to pay the ghost?
That's creepy. Please stop.
Aww. Shannon, you have a interesting story that happened apparently trying to watch this film, so that you could be a good guest on our show. What happened?
I texted Sam last night, and I said, Sam, I'm not going to be able to watch this film. And Sam, he didn't say anything, so I went on to to explain my situation, I don't have any more data on my phone. And my Wi-Fi is not working. Therefore, I could not stream. I was racking my brain on how I was going to watch this film. I really wanted to be a good guest today. So, I went to Starbucks, like every great American. And I sat out in my car in the parking lot.
And stole someone's credit card information.
Nice.
And I used their fantastic Wi-Fi to watch this film. Meanwhile, my headlights were on the entire time. My battery dies in my car.
Oh, boy.
I blame it all on Papa Nicky. Sweet Nicholas. I blamed it all on him. It starts raining.
Todd was not involved this time.
Todd was not involved.
Maybe he was.
Todd was not involved this time. I did make a phone call to a friend to come and rescue me, but I told him, wait. I am watching a movie, so take your time. I was able to paint it through the rest of this film and get a jump shortly after and make it home in time for bed. And all thanks to Pay the Ghost.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
Did you pay your friend?
I shook his hand.
That's good. That's good.
You know.
All right. So this has been Pay the Ghosts. Shannon, since you went through all that trouble
Yes.
to watch this film,
Yes.
what was your favorite part of Pay the Ghost? And then who would you recommend this to if you were to recommend it to anyone?
My favorite part was the actual goat. This woman that
choice.
was tormented and therefore returning to acquire 3 children on every Halloween. She was my favorite part of it. I actually found her to be somewhat frightening, and maybe it was the noises that she emitted. She just seemed like an angry mom, and I have one of those growing up, so I know what that sounds like. I think that was the best part of the film, aside from Papa Nicky hanging by one hand, holding his child as if he's still strong, and he's not, because by what we can tell, him chasing the bus, he is out of shape.
He is not. He's not in his rock
he's
strength.
Not in his ripe self.
He's not gone in 60 seconds anymore. He's gone in 60 minutes.
Which
It's
is just a shame, man. Because look, I love Nicolas Cage when he delivers. When Nicolas Cage slips his leash and does his absolute chewing the scenery best. Mm-hmm. There is no one greater working today. This movie was not it.
Mm-mm. So, Todd, what's your favorite scene of the movie?
My favorite scene is actually pretty easy on this. My favorite scene is broken up into 2 different parts, and I think this is some real cleverness on the filmmaker's part. The filmmaker chose to show the grieving parents in different ways. The other little boy's dad, who was disappearing, he had gone into a cycle of despondency and was stuck doing heroin and was just so depressed he couldn't get himself out of it. And the little girl's mom, she buried herself in her work, and that was the only thing that she had left. And I felt that the personification and showing the way that different people handle grief and loss was actually masterfully done. I felt that was masterfully done.
I thought you were going to refer to Nicolas Cage and his wife and how they responded. Like, he was still on the search for his son, and she was basically, well, I'm still young, this pussy's still good, I can pop out another one.
She didn't seem to care, and that's the weird thing about her. Like, she didn't
didn't.
seem to care. There were some weird moments in this film that just didn't make sense. Like, first of all, mom didn't seem to care. Laurie Grimes didn't seem to care, which is just really bizarre to me. After having to give birth to a zombie kid or whatever, you'd think that she'd care more about the living one. And I am willing to forgive a lot in movies. I am willing to forgive a ton in movies just for suspension of disbelief as long as the movie is internally consistent, right? But when the school teacher from Schenectady was like, well, the portal's only open and you can only bring back kids who were kidnapped last year, then they're gone. And I was like, oh, the other kids that they brought back with them were from years ago.
No,
weren't.
there's 3.
Yes,
that you can take.
Kidnaps
No,
each year.
but they said no from the previous the Nicolas Cage when he went to go visit the dad who was shooting heroin. He was like last year.
but
I
their
don't
son
think that was his
taken.
No,
kid.
that wasn't his kid. That was
was just some
because he had a
random
daughter.
Yeah.
He had a daughter.
This is a random Pablo.
I didn't realize
That's
that.
okay, you've been
I
drinking,
thought that
and
the
we're
guy,
gonna forgive
I thought
you.
the guy doing heroin and the mom at the Chinese store. I thought it was their kid.
That
No.
would have been the way to do the movie,
Yeah.
but they didn't
Yeah,
do
they chose that his kid's
Well,
gone.
so now I have even more problems with it because that didn't make any damn sense.
Right.
Right.
And those were useless characters. But like the way I saw it was they were like, well, your kid was taken the year before my kid.
Right.
What do you know about it? And then they managed to bring back the little Mexican kid and the little Asian kid, so I just made the assumption that
It's New York. He's Dominican Republican or Puerto Rican.
whatever.
Yep. All right.
Whatever.
Sam. All right, Sam. What is
Now
your
I'm even more angry.
My
favorite scene?
favorite moment was some of the jump scares that they employed because there was one that actually made me. I don't like jump scares. I think they're cheap to use
Yeah.
in horror films. But the one that did get me was when he hallucinated his boy from the other dimension, telling him, "Dad, look behind you," and he's like, "There's nothing there," and he goes, "Look again," and you see the shadow dripping over the street, and then the ghost popped up. I thought that was a very effective way to throw me off because I was expecting something coming from the shadows, not pop up right on the screen. So when that happened, I jumped in my chair. My wife laughed at me because she's a terrible person, and she should be supporting me instead of laughing at me.
No, I fully support her.
I think she's right because nothing in this movie scared me. I saw the jump scares coming as they were coming.
I knew there was a jump scare coming, but I expected the jump scare coming from a different area of that shot.
Okay.
And that's what threw me off. Because I made the assumption, it's probably going to come from the shadows and not right on the...
So wait a minute. So because it came from even though you knew it was
I knew
coming,
it was
it
coming.
came from a different
I mean,
angle. What if you expected it to be blue and it popped up red? Would that have still scared you?
No, because at that point I would have predicted where it came from. And so I would have been psychic, and you could have called me Magician Man McSam.
Baskin, Mission Man, Magician Man.
Wow, you are
Sam.
just stumbling
Big
all
Sam.
over the world.
Whatever.
It's all right, dude. Don't calm down. We got this.
Well then, Haley, what is your favorite moment of Pay the Ghost?
My favorite moment of Pay the Ghost is a small, itty-bitty shot where Nicolas Cage is being his cagiest when he takes his son to the carnival and he just dances away. And that I just found hilarious.
I don't remember that.
It's a small shot, and that's the only moment.
That was pretty much the only moment that he sort of slipped his leash a
being
little
his
bit.
cagiest.
That he was willing to be Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
That was the one moment that kind of shined.
I think my favorite part of the movie was when he goes into the other world, the ghost world, and he walks down to the basement, and there's just like a sea of kids, and they all kind of
Super creepy.
and they all
really
look
awesome.
up, and when he's like Charlie, and they all raise their hands. I thought that was like a really cool moment and kind of really creepy. After that, though, when the kid army decides to attack the ghost, it lost me there. But
Help him!
yeah,
That was actually a moment that kind of worked for me because if they had done nothing, I would have been like, man, all those lost souls for nothing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Worthless.
If they had the power to do that then, why didn't they do it sooner?
That's
Because kids are dumb.
No, because Nicolas Cage had to open the doors, giving them access to their inner power. It was like, all right, now you're all going to be Power Rangers, and take it on. It wasn't... The doors were closed. They had the stones on them.
And they were held by rocks and spirits,
So
the spirit world, they can't float through things.
yeah, so rocks stopped them,
Yes.
but the crazy lady that brought them there
That's
does
because
not.
of the pagan religion. That the way it works, it's not rock, paper, scissor. It's rock, wood, kids.
Rockwood Kids, new game. I love it. I have a semi-serious question. Why vultures? You know more about this sort of thing than I do. Vultures are not an old world bird. They're not even really a New York bird. They're certainly not an Irish bird. Why vultures?
I think the
was that
overall
lazy filmmaking?
I think it was the overall symbol. I think it was lazy script writing, but possibly. But I don't know enough about the Celtic religion to really comment on it. But vultures, generally speaking, tend to represent death and destruction and decay. So that's probably why they used them.
I think the vultures are just something to hunt out the children for her.
All right, so let's talk about recommendations. How would you recommend this film? Would you recommend it to anyone? Let's find out. Charlie, do it again. Do it again.
Let me be Charlie. I'll be Charlie.
No. That's the name of the kid again who got abducted. I have him on the brain.
I will be Charlie. That's
so,
fine.
Shannon, let me know. Who would you recommend this to if you recommend it to anyone?
I would probably recommend this to a geriatrics home.
Nice.
Specifically Midwest. They would get some entertainment from this.
You'd be terrified.
Yes.
All right.
Nice.
Very nice.
Amen.
All right, Todd, who would you recommend Pay the Ghost to?
Being that I'm a Nicolas Cage fan, and no matter what he does, I'm going to want to see it, no matter how bad it is. I would recommend this film for completionists, for other Nicolas Cage fans, people that want to see all of his work. That's who needs to see this. But if you're not a completionist, let's skip it. It's boring.
All right, Sam, who would you recommend Pay the Ghost?
I would recommend this to any of the Coppola family members to show them this is what happens when you allow your family to come into the acting world and completely mess everything up. I don't like Nicolas Cage. I don't think he's a very good actor. Maybe the one film that I think I enjoyed from him was The
Vampire's
Rock.
Kiss?
No. And so for me, it's really this is what happens when you have an exorbitant amount of cash and you waste it on Superman collectibles and Elvis paraphernalia, and you've just like, I need a paycheck. This is what I'm going to do. My name is Nicolas Cage, and I'm out.
All right.
Wow. I didn't know you felt that way about Nicolas Cage. I love his work. I think he's fantastic.
All right. Haley, who would you recommend Pay the Ghost to?
I wouldn't recommend this film to anyone. I honestly, this is one you can skip. There's better Nicolas Cage films out there, so I wouldn't recommend it.
All right.
Completionist.
Face.
Nice. I guess I would recommend it to, if you like crappy, low, crappy horror.
Crappy, low, crappy.
Crappy, low, crappy horror?
That's a new subgenre.
Yeah. I mean, it's not particularly scary, and the scary parts are mostly jump scares, which one did get me sad. It was the one the wife is sitting on the bed and her head turns around real quick. I was not expecting it that fast. So I was like, oh. But other than that, that was pretty much the only thing that got me. Bunch of jump scares, very few creepy moments, and there was the CGI was kind of hit and miss at times, hit and miss. So, yeah, it's fine for background Halloween horror noise.
Don't ruin Halloween with this.
Okay, fair enough.
And what do you at home think? Well, that happened podcast.com, or let us know in the comments below. Next week's movie is going to be
Milius.
Okay.
A documentary about John Milius, who is the...
Milius?
No, Milius. Who is the unofficial inspiration for the character of Walter in Big Lebowski. He is a writer-director. He helped write Apocalypse Now. He wrote Conan the Barbarian, and he directed several other films as well.
Oh, we'll see how this question time goes.
Right.
Documentaries. God, there's so much information in there. And with that, well...
Pay the Ghost.
That happened.